So we've talked to Robert about you over the last couple weeks or so, and he said you're beefy. He said,
that dude's beefy. You guys seen him?
Yeah, today he said you were thick.
Oh, good.
What's the off-season program like to get beefy and thick?
Yeah, I think it was probably the first time in my life I've taken a bigger approach on the nutrition side of it rather than just the lifting. Of course, every year you do your typical strength training and lifting and running, but typically you just try and eat healthy. But I try to actually have a written plan of how much to eat, when to eat, tracking everything down to the macro, have somebody help me with all that stuff, and that's probably been the biggest difference as far as just being able to put good weight on.
Is that from a nutritionist, Zach, or is that from someone here? Are you somebody you hired?
Yeah, I helped get the plan here with our nutritionist, Nikki. She does a great job. And then having somebody kind of, tailor all my meals, coming up with a meal plan, and then kind of like a chef, that's there to kind of put all together, but, not really fancy chef food. I'm looking for really somebody to help just make it convenient and, meals at the appropriate times.
Do you feel different? Do you notice anything different out there based on all this?
Yeah, I feel better for sure. The energy, the ability to, have that stamina throughout the whole practice, I think is better. And then I just think in the long run, once we get into a game where we're actually getting hit and tackled, having some more size on me would help.
Is your weight up?
Yeah, I've put on quite a bit of weight, yeah.
How much weight have you put on?
I think last season I probably ended around 208, and I'm about 221 right now.
Is this something you wanted to do after the off season?
Yeah, 100%. And I really don't want to be over 220. My goal is to kind of try and push a little bit over 220, and then once we hit the summer, try and cut back. I want to play around probably like 218. But that was a big goal. I just feel like every year in season you're going to lose weight, and so everybody tries to kind of get as big as they can, and then you're going to lose a little bit of weight once training camp and season hits.
Do you feel like you kept your quickness and athleticism, or was there a bit of a sacrifice on that front to gain the weight?
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal. I definitely feel like from past experiences of putting weight on too, that I feel more athletic, faster, the more weight, muscle that I put on. And so that was the goal. I just feel like I'm a better athlete with more weight on me for some reason.
Did you have to give anything up, Zach? Are you a fast food guy or a sugar guy?
I do have a sweet tooth, pretty bad. So that's been the challenge, is the cookies and cakes and those kind of things. So.
What have these last few weeks been like? I know it's not full football, but just getting back out there, how you felt kind of in the offense?
Yeah, it's a blast to get back out there. With the guys, the additions that we have, the little wrinkles that we add within the offense, and then just the challenge of, seeing what we did last year and then trying to apply it and get better as a unit is a lot of fun. Going out there on the field, remembering the reps that you had last year, how can I improve on them, how can I get better? That's why it's really fun, honestly.
How much more comfortable, I know we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, but how much more comfortable are you? Like Robert even said today, you're louder, which he takes as a confidence, being high. How much more do you notice that?
Right. I mean, I think it's just like every level of football that you've played, the more experience you have, at that level, you're just going to feel more confident. And that's the entire unit together. We just feel more confident together. And we're really just kind of, really trying to take that offensive step to the next level. And I think everybody in general feels more comfortable. The coaches feel more comfortable putting a little bit more on us as well. So it is more exciting to come into a year two of an offense rather than year one.
With the addition that you guys have made, how much better do you think the Jets are as a whole now?
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely going to be better. I don't think we'll be able to tell until game one, of course, but you can tell the improvement is there. We have the talent, we have the guys. It's now can we tie it all together and be able to put something together.
Zach, a lot of when young quarterbacks developing, a lot of people talk about surrounding him with talent and putting the pieces around him to create an environment where he can have success. Do you believe that's happened for you? Do you believe that you have everything that you need to be a really successful quarterback in this league?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like the entire staff, GM from the top all the way down, from ownership down, and I feel like those guys have done a great job just getting the pieces that we need. And I think that comes back to my job of now I need to do my job of getting these playmakers the ball. How can I let these big tight ends, these really good receivers, these running backs get the ball in space and let them do what we brought them here to do.
What was watching the draft like, Zach? What was your reaction to what was doing?
Yeah, it was exciting for me really just because I think everyone we picked is exactly who I wanted us to pick. And so, I think as an organization everyone saw exactly what we were looking for and they were able to deliver that for sure.
What's
what's it been like the early work with Garrett? What are your impressions of him?
Yeah, the dude's a sponge. He's soaking it up. He's learning a bunch. You know, with being a rookie, you know, just like me last year, you can't really show exactly what you got until you can line up correctly and be confident in what you're doing. So he's going through that learning stage still, but he's a quick learner, and you can see the talent jump off the page. He's a really good player, so he definitely has the skills, the tool set, and definitely the mindset to be great.
Have you noticed Sauce too when you got him?
A couple times. We don't want to notice him though too much.
You mentioned with the pieces that were added, now it's time for you to do your job. You see your job in the context of, in trying to win the division ultimately, that you have to perform at a higher level than the other quarterbacks did, particularly like Mac Jones, for instance, because he was in your class. Do you take that as a personal challenge?
I don't try and compare my play to anybody else, you know, as far as other quarterbacks go. I try and look at what I did last year, what I put on film, and how I can just keep improving on that. And, you know, what Mac is asked to do from his coaches is probably different what I'm asked to do. You know, we all have different schemes, different offenses, and, you know, so I can't sit there and compare what we're trying to do there. I just got to follow with what my coaches are telling me, and how can I just keep improving for what I've done.
How much sharper are you mentally from last year compared to now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just more comfortable. I wouldn't say, you know, extremely sharper is the right word. I would say it's more of just you're comfortable, you're understanding what things you need to think about, what things you don't need to think about. You're just more efficient within your thoughts, and being able to simplify the game, I feel like you can see more by seeing less, if that makes any sense.
Is that comfort also in leadership, Zach, in terms of like, you know, last year you walk in, you're rookie, and now you feel like you can take more of a leadership role this year?
Yeah, and I think that's, you know, needed, especially from a quarterback, is somebody that can, you know, get everybody on the same page and bring them in. And I've never been the super, you know, vocal type, the guy to get up in front of the team. But, you know, sometimes that's needed, and you know, I think it means more when it does come.
Tyler said in OTAs, you know, a lot of it's mental. So how do you each day, it's not getting redundant, so how do you each day stay locked in while it's getting redundant to continue to improve yourself mentally?
Right, just every single rep, just going through that process of, you know, where am I taking my eyes? What's my reads right here? How can I simplify this play? And just use every single rep to my advantage, because, you know, you want to bank up as many as those as you can until season comes.
How much do you think traveling around the country to work out with receivers help you and help the kind of that closeness that you need with your teammates?
Yeah, I think it was good, not only just for the physical throwing aspect, but just to see those guys, you know, catch up, see how their off season was going. And, you know, we'll plan something like that, I'm sure, this July as well, before training camp gets started. And I just think as much time we can get with those guys is always going to be a positive thing.
July, you mean you get like the whole offense together kind of thing?
Yeah, well, typically every year you do like a skill position offensive, you know, thing. You know, the O-line won't come out because those guys aren't running routes, but we'll do a throwing somewhere. You know, we'll kind of plan something and be able to get everyone together.
You gonna invite us?
Sanchez used to.
Did he? He invited you
He
guys?
invited us, yes.
What was he looking for there?
That's West.
Jets West,
Okay.
he said Jets West and
I'm sure it's catered too.
yeah.
Catered.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll see.
Don't fall.
Check your mail.
I'm not lying, Jared.
Check your mail. Maybe some will come in. Cabo. It's a good one.
Hawaii.
You seem to become a hockey fan, Zach, from seeing what's that?
It's interesting. I never watched hockey my whole life, but, you know, we got to go to that Islanders game last year, and then this year the Rangers game. Something about that playoff hockey is just a blast, and, you know, I get a lot of comments on the whole Rangers Islanders thing. It's like, really, I'm just a fan of New York. Any New York sports teams I want to support, and so, you know, they're really a blast to go out and, you know, being an MSG for a playoff game, you know, Game 7 or whatever it was, is a blast, and so that was a ton of fun.
And you were Mets too, right? You did that one?
Yeah, Mets game was fun. You know, obviously want to go to a Yankees game. You know, basketball games, of course, once those get started up again.
Does it kind of give you an idea of what, I mean, it's been a while since the Jets have been a good team, so does it give you a sense of what this organization and what the atmosphere could be like around this team if you guys can turn it around?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's just a lot of passionate fans out here, and it's exciting. I think that's what makes those moments fun, and so, you know, you want to be able to put on a good show for those guys, and that's what we're working to do.